So that little shed that's a little closer than it looks here has lots of hay in it. So this morning, while it's still cold and there aren't any snakes moving much, I'm going to try to move that hay out of there and bring it up to the house. I got a bunch pulled to the front, so I don't have to go back in there and crawl around anymore. I don't know what's living in there, but something's living in that. Now I just have to get it up here, and then from there over to the road. Okay. It wasn't that long ago that that little wagon was buried in snow. The real winter was only 3 weeks long, and now it's definitely spring, and we are getting to work. And that involves a lot of dragging things from one side of the property to the other. In this video, I'll show you some of what we've been up to, mainly building our new garden. All right, here is the first bed that I made. This was the no-till leaf mulch. Actually, it wasn't no-till. This is where I dug up all the dirt, separated the dirt from the grass, put the dirt back in with leaves, covered it. I think I showed you that in another video. Anyway, this is where we are. I've put a couple inches of compost on it, and then I have some bags of topsoil that I'm going to mix in. And then this is ready to plant. And I'll probably put a hoop over it to keep the chickens out. But what we have stumbled on that fits our situation perfectly, and what I'm going to talk about right now is this Hugelkultur mounding. These are going to be beds. The front of the house has a mound. And I have a lot of work to do. This is mine. But the idea is that you take, and here's what's exciting. We have so much dead material up in these woods. A lot of these trees, the pines, are killing all the hardwood trees, but the branches and the trash is just laying there. So we're pulling it out and scraping off all the leaves all around the house and hauling it, and that becomes the source of our bed. It's exciting. We don't have to do anything. I did put cardboard down here. You don't have to. I have to come up with some more logs that are hardwood. The pine is in the front of the house. And then break up all these branches and put in there, and then bring over all those leaves from over there and fill it in, squish it down, and then put the topsoil that, or the compost that we got. Haul that over here and dump it and spread it. And this will become the bed for tomatoes, peppers, things like cucumbers. Mid-spring, maybe early spring planting. A month away, I'll put it that way. Now I started the no-till because we didn't have a rototiller, but we got one working. I don't know what I'm going to do with it now, but I think to chop all this up and make pathways, if it works. Anyway, this is my project today, is to work on building this bed so I can start putting soil. You want it to sit a little bit before you plant. This is Teresa's. This is just lovely. Looks like a big bird nest. But she got a lot of work done. All these branches came out of those woods. We hauled them down here, and she has a nice bedding right now. She probably needs to build it up a little bit more before she puts earth on it. Down from the pine tree, all this crap is laying out here. Looks like a battleground, fallen soldier logs. And all this crap's grown up. So I've started to weed whack, and I'm gonna finish that and rake it. I opened up one of these beds and let the chickens at it. And they've done a pretty good job, pretty much cleared it. So today I'm gonna scoop this up and add it to the beds that we're doing on the other side of that hill. It's always on the other side of the hill. And then I'm gonna gather up what's still alive in here, transplant it, and move it down to the greenhouse. I don't know if I'll get all that done today or not. So I sure got plenty to do. So I still have to rake all this up and bag it. The raspberry bushes. So I'm going to feed them. Bring some dirt up here from the other side of the hill, haul it over here, and dump it on these raspberries after I clean out all the junk. So here's the Hugelkultur bed. So all these logs, I'm really proud of this bed because this is really truly how it's supposed to be. Logs to logs to logs, and then I'll break up these branches and stick it in wherever I can, and then put these needles on top with mixed with some soil, and then needles and soil, probably lasagna it, and then top it all off with good soil on top. I've got all these branches here pulled to bring over here and add to the pile, and all this, and I have some over there, and piles of pine needles mixed with other things, good dirt all along the side here. So the great thing about this is I can utilize what really has just been trash laying around the house, and we're hoping to minimize the tick infestation. I mean, there's ticks everywhere. It's a real problem, and it's because there's all this moisture and good places for ticks that want to live here. So we're going to try to destroy that habitat. Just before the winter storms, I'd begin framing the greenhouse. If you've watched any videos on hoop greenhouses, which is what this is going to be, you probably hear them talk about cattle panel. Well, this is not cattle panel. I thought it was, or I didn't realize the difference. Cattle panel comes in 16 feet lengths, and apparently it's really, really thick, strong, or whatever. Anyway, so I had to support these with some hoops. And then I had to support the hoops with a long bar. But I think it's going to work out. So I'm going to finish the damn greenhouse today. I have things I can put in it now. So I did make a window, but I have to adjust this bar to get it under there. And I'm not going to make a window for that right now. I'm just going to make use this plastic and raise it up and down. And then in the front, I did make a door, but it didn't quite. Don't laugh at me, people. I don't know how to do things. It doesn't stop me, and I'll figure it out. I have an L bracket. The problem is this wood, I don't have the right. I don't have a drill bit that'll, get a good starter hole, and therefore the wood splits. This is the semi-final version. I just put this up yesterday. I decided just to cover the opening, and for now I'll make something that goes up and down. Well, my window fell out on the other side, so it's probably pretty cold. I'll go check the temperature now. I fixed that edge. $57. Not exactly hot, huh? The onions, those are the potatoes. These are the plants I took out of those other planters. Need to bring some water down. I'm not sure exactly what they are. This is my pawpaw tree. I just transplanted it into this until I dig a hole and decide where I'm going to put it. Lastly, I'll say something about the dirt you saw, the mound out here. This will end up being where corn, squash, beans, etc. are, in a circle, but we're going to take off the top of this circle and use it for our beds. So this is a combination of mushroom compost and leaf mulch compost. There are worms in it, so it has some living quality. I've hauled quite a bit of it, as you can see, big dent here and over here away, but I gotta hold off until I see what we need for our 2 big beds down here. Then what's left can go over to the pine. I got another bed here to make. So it looks like a lot. It was a dump truck, but it's only 9 cubic feet, and it was expensive, but it'll get us started this year, and then subsequently we're going to have to produce our own. So that means making some compost. Hugelkultur. It means mound gardening in German, and it's been practiced for hundreds of years in Europe. So we're excited to try this, and I'll keep you informed on how it goes as the summer moves on. So next time we'll talk about seeds and making your own little seed holders, and Teresa's going to talk a little bit about her mushroom farm that she's been growing. We've been eating some great mushrooms. Look at those. They're beautiful. Those are cinnamon mushrooms. Also have lots of eggs coming, but we got a little egg problems. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about poor Miss Kitty. Till next time, thanks for watching.